Okay, so thanks for allowing me to help out. If you hear me breathe in a lot, it's just because I'm having some chest tightness. No big deal, but that's what's going on. So you might hear that from time to time. So this is my company website. The other thing I do that you might be interested in, and right now the gigs, the audits are really, really cheap. I think they're $50, the security gigs. I go and check all kinds of possible weak points on your website to where hackers could get in. I have a lot of experience in security. Eventually, I'm doing that till I get my pro rating up for that gig. Eventually, they're going to go up to about $150 to $200. So what I do is I record videos like this that last about 30 minutes going over all of the security issues or pitfalls that I find. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or you can just buy the gig on Fiverr or talk to me and we'll figure it out. So went over quite a few things. Now I could spend all day on this list, so I'm just gonna not get into too much detail on some of the things. I'm just gonna mention them, say what it is, and go to the next thing. If you want any more information on any one of those, let me know. No big deal. I just don't want to waste your time. So with local SEO, so the three main factors, and we've been told this, a lot of things we assume and we think are true based on testing and experience, but we've been told from Google that it's proximity, prominence, and relevance. Proximity meaning how close are you to the result. So you're in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I know you have the multiple service areas, but for example, you can see you're right here. If somebody from Westville searches for you based on that one factor, if there's a maid, I'm not a maid, a cleaning service maid, whatever you want to call it, I guess it would be a maid, closer to them, they're going to rank ahead of you if that was the only factor. So it is a ranking factor. If that maid is, between you're right here, let's say they're right here, then there's a higher chance they're going to rank just because they're a little bit closer. Prominent. So how prominent are you on the web? What are your reviews like? What kind of backlinks do you get? What is your social media profile like, right? You're doing pretty good with social media. It's really good on Facebook. And then relevance. How relevant are you to the search? Obviously, you're not going to rank if somebody searches for a hamburger restaurant near me, right? Specifically, if somebody searches for, how did you word it? Recurring maid services, you specifically have a landing page for that. Right, and it's pretty good. I'd like to see it a little bit longer, but it's written good. It looks clean. You're using stock photography, which I generally don't like. Not a big deal, but for photos like this, I think it would be nice to actually use actual photos. Not a huge deal, but I would just for the filler photos that are just like people, that makes sense. But for the photos that actually show the cleanliness stuff, I would use real photos, and you have a ton of those photos. So now the top menu is off. This is just something I see here, right here. See how this more, you want this more to be over here to the right. I don't know if it's a screen resolution thing. Yeah, it is. So at my resolution, well, I'm at 100%. So if I go to 110%, it gets messed up. Okay, so maybe it's just, well, just be aware of it. And my screen resolution is right there if you want to investigate it and test it out. Okay, now we're going to get into some of the stuff. Let's do this. Let me see if I can close that. Okay. So Google Business Profile. So if we go to Google Business Profile, formerly Google My Business. So what are, actually not yet. Let's go to, justifications. So if I search for maids near me, and I have my Google set up to search from, I keep forgetting the city name. What's it called? Fort Smith, Arkansas. You can see you show up good. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm hesitant to really do anything because you're already ranking number 2. I would be interested to know, you're probably going to fluctuate between 1 and 5. If you search for yourself in an incognito tab daily, do you ever get to number 1? That would be interesting to know. But since you're ranking 2, I'm hesitant to really change much up because sometimes you do that and it can lead to a decrease in rankings. So it's just there's no magic bullet here. It's something we'd have to talk about and consider, or if you'd want to do it on your own, talk about, consider. Just know that that is possibly a pitfall. So what are justifications? Justifications are if you click on an entry. Now, anytime you're doing SEO stuff, you want to always look at what the top results are doing well and mimic those. So let's look at the top results for maids near me. And Google has something called justifications, and now they're not showing up. They were yesterday. Okay, let's go to roofies. It's basically keywords that Google highlights in reviews that it thinks are important. And this is Google. It can, if you're not doing this stuff consistently, you'll may never notice, but Google's changing things day to day to test things up. So I assure you, these justifications. Here we go. You can see them here. Deep cleaning. So this is a keyword you can see Google thinks is pretty important. Deep cleaning. Let's see if we can go to one more. Cindy has no reviews. Let's go to Kimmy the Cleaning Queen. And they're not there anymore either. Interesting. So the keywords I picked up when I was doing this, I guess, was it yesterday? I don't even remember. Maybe 2 days ago. Professional, home, team, job, price, deep cleaning. These are words you want to focus on in all your descriptions, on your websites, on your home pages, on your landing pages, in your titles, all that kind of stuff. These are keywords that Google thinks are important to your with your competition, your high ranking, your competitors that are ranking high. So think these are keywords you constantly want to use over and over again. Spammy competitor listing are your competitors, and this should be a no actually. Basically what this means is if you put keywords in your business name, I think it's no, you can rank higher. Like if it said Serene Clean maid service, like the keyword maid, or house cleaning, right? That would get them a boost in the rankings. Nobody has it. So you're good there. Don't worry about that. And so what you would do if they did, you would report them and you wouldn't want to allow a competitor to manipulate the algorithm. So you would report them and suggest the change and get that change. Verified. You are verified. That's good. Error. So this isn't really an error, but if you go to your business profile, you have a ton of services, and well, first of all, services were added or removed. So it looks like these have been added. So are these accurate? So you want to go ahead and accept these changes. You have a ton of services. I mean, I've never seen this many services, and I can tell somebody that is familiar with SEO has already worked on your website and done work with you. I can tell that. I talked to 4 or 5 friends I have in SEO and said, do you like all of this? This is pretty spammy, all of these keywords. 3 of them said they would not have all of these keywords. 2 of them said they would, and they don't think it matters. So I wouldn't have all of these keywords. Like home cleaning is the same thing as cleaning service. Google is smart enough to know that these things are kind of the same thing. Like one-time clean, I get why you did it, because somebody's going to search for the word one-time clean. But I would just use your actual services. What I like to do when I work with clients is for every service, there should be a reciprocal landing page on the website. So if I were you, I would have this as a service, this is a service, and this is a service, and that's it. But then again, you're ranking number 2, so do you really want to change it? Now, saying that, there are some that I thought there were a couple, like house cleaning near me. I know why they did that, but it's then you're putting in your geo keyword here. I get it. There were a couple in here, like housekeeping near me, maids. I would focus more on putting these keywords on your website. But there was one, employment services. So this is one I would get rid of. But then again, you're already ranking number 2. So do you want to take that risk? That's just something. I don't know. I would want to get more people's opinions on it. If you want to seriously consider changing this up, let me know, and I'll talk to more people and get more people's opinions on it. I think I would clean it up. And the main reason is I don't want Google to see this and suspend my Google business profile eventually. I would take all of these keywords that you want to do and make sure you implement these on the landing pages. And like I said, I have a great success with mirroring service pages with landing pages on websites. Okay, so that's a concern. Category. So you're using, there's an extension called Plepper, which is really cool. If you type in maids near me, you'll see this extension will come up over here. It's called Plepper, P-L-E-P-E-R. And you can see it, of the top results, it's the most common categories being used. House cleaning is number 1, and then service establishment. You're not a commercial cleaner, you're not a janitor, etc., etc. So you can see yours, you're using the top category. So you're good. Nothing to worry about there. Unless you do commercial cleaning, which it's not mentioned on your webpage. So make this a little bigger. It's too big. Okay. Okay, business info. So if we go to your info, you do a pretty good job. I would like to see more of the actual, I would focus the 3 services that you have on your website, put those in here. And also possibly the other, well, you did have the geos in there. Yeah, you said cities, then county. So I think that's good. I would just focus on putting the 3 actual services you have. Where are we at here? These right here. Yeah. And some people say it's not a ranking factor. I think it is, but who knows? I would just do it. I think it's quick. It's easy. Your business name. So when it says yes or no, yes means is everything okay? No means it's not okay. It's not really an answer to the question. So are you in the location you're trying to rank for? Yes. Are competitors using fake addresses? No. I don't know why I did that. So here's the problem you're going to have. Since proximity is a ranking factor, since you don't have an address, you're kind of in the Wild West of Fort. Now I can't remember again. Maids near me. Whatever. I can't remember the city name. Let me see if I can see real quick. Okay, let me just go back. Sorry, I've been doing this for multiple hours and I never can remember. Fort Smith. Okay. So if you had a pin in somebody, let's say you were right here, and somebody searched from right here for a maid or a cleaning service, you would show up. Even if your rating wasn't that good, you'd show up. But since you're not there, you're kind of losing the benefit of that proximity ranking. It can be a good thing and a bad thing. So it's just something to be aware of. It's kind of gonna, you're losing the benefit of that ranking factor. Walmart house cleaning services. What is that? Okay, that doesn't sound real. Interesting. Okay. Your service areas are good. I would just go look at them and make sure they're all still good. Verify them. Hours, your hours look good, but I mean, you really don't have hours since you're not a brick and mortar business, but you know, whatever. Website URL looks good. You're using a campaign URL to track in your Google Business Profile, and that's fine. I'd put this here, but I don't know if this is actually true. Anymore. I have seen people get suspended for putting services into products, but they show up here where the services don't. So I would keep them. I like that services don't show up. Only products do. So let me get rid of that. I'll put this keep. And I'll just put iffy here because it's just another one of those things. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I spend a lot of time on this. So sometimes I might have second thoughts or I forget like actually what I did because I spend so many hours on these things. Once I read it, I'm like, okay, what was I even talking about? You know what I mean? So it's going to be kind of crazy as I go along. But it gets quicker towards the end. So we won't be here all day. Okay. Good. No duplicates. You don't have an address. There's no duplicate for your phone number. You do have multiple business names, meaning it needs to be exact wherever it is. If it's in Yelp, it needs to say Custom Maids. It shouldn't say Custom Maids, Arkansas. I'm not going to remember the name of the city, so I'm just going to say, I think it's Fort Smith. I'll just say Fort Smith or whatever comes to mind. I don't want to waste time continuing going to back because I have a horrible memory. So just be aware of that. Anytime you're creating a citation on or a business listing on directory sites or anywhere, make sure you use the exact same business everywhere you go. No fake addresses. Are you in the location trying to rank for? Yes. Service areas looks good, but verify. Okay, that's what I showed you. Okay, we're here. Went over that. Services. Okay, we went over service. I guess I mentioned that twice. Here and here. Interesting. Okay. Get rid of this. Appointment link. So you don't have an appointment link. And you could do it because you have, I like the call to action here up top, book now. Take this book online and put it right here. Boom, put that there. Attribute. So you're not doing any attributes, and this just gives people a good understanding of every business has different attributes available to them, business type. So you just come here. Are you Asian owned, black owned, LGBT owned, LGBTQ friendly, etc., etc.? Just go select those, and you should be good. And I'm going to pause it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you have the opening date. Google Posts. If I remember correctly, you're doing Google Posts, which is good. Yep, 20 hours ago. Looks like you're doing once every 1 to 2 to 3 days. Looks like actually every 1 day. So that's good. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, but at a minimum, and I love that you're doing before and after pictures. That's the most powerful thing you could do as a cleaning service. A lot of people just post like promotions and stuff, but as a cleaning service, this is the stuff that people want to see. So this is a great job. This is, at a minimum, this is a signal to Google that you're using their product. And it makes sense. I can't prove this, that they would reward companies that are using their product and shows that they're actually, active. Oh, and then make sure you focus on your keywords in your geo in your posts, and also make a sticky note with these keywords and put it on your monitor and try to incorporate these whenever possible. In your posts, in your tweets, in your Facebook posts, in your landing pages, everywhere. This should be kind of your, like I said, just make a sticky with it and put it on your monitor. Don't force it, but if it makes sense, you want to include those words. Okay, so let's go to reviews. Where are reviews at? You're doing a good job of responding to reviews. I do like them to be a little more personal. Instead of just saying, thank you so much for the 5-star review, Richard, we look forward to seeing you again. Maybe say like, if you get to know these people well, make them personal. Say, thank you so much for the 5-star review, Richard. Hope you and your wife had a good time. Anything you know, like if you know something about the pool, anything so it knows that you just, so even, let me step back. Anything that makes it specific to that client. So if you said, so even if you don't know these people, and let's say they had a pool, you could say something like, man, that pool was real. I can't even think of a really good example, but something specific instead of it just being being generic. That sticks out in people's minds. I think it's something like 85% of people looking to do business with a service business look at reviews. And if your review responses are personal, it's really going to stand out. Like you'll probably get to know a few of these people, especially if they're reoccurring. You can make a comment about, work or their dog, or if you know they're a fan of Florida State Seminoles or something, or I guess in your case it would be like the Arkansas Razorbacks. You can hope you had fun at the game, anything like that. And that would just show a lot of not personalization, but you get what I'm saying. And people pick up on that stuff. And just create a spreadsheet with all of your customers, or however you track your customers, with a little note for each one of them, noting their interests. And if you don't know their personal interests, something unique about their house, or just something unique, right? Or something that happened possibly. And if you're comfortable writing reviews for people, if you have people that are, and by the way, I can set you up with a review system, how to do it. Let me know. I'll be happy to share that with you for free. You always want to ask for reviews personally. You don't want it to be automated because people don't respond to those near as much. And if possible, if you can write the review for them, that would be helpful, but you'd have to be very comfortable with them because you want to include your keywords in your review, in the reviews, also in the review responses if at all possible. And not only just the keywords, you want to include the justifications in the reviews. All that stuff helps. It's really important. Are you using messages? I think you are, because I'm getting alerts. So unless I'm totally misremembering, make sure you just continue to use those messages. But I think your response rate, your quote response rate, I believe, let me pause it real quick. Okay, that may have been somebody else. Just make sure you're responding to everything, because if you don't respond to all requests, Google will just remove the button from your profile. Photos. Your photos are good. You have a good logo and a cover photo. I like your photos that you have you show pictures of your team. You show the before and after. I like all that stuff. You can't show 3 inside because you don't have a business. You're not doing any videos. Videos are just powerful. And it makes sense. Google would reward businesses that use all of their features. So every so often, maybe once every couple weeks, just do a quick video with your iPhone or your Android phone. No big deal. Before and after always is the most helpful. users. So what this means is, are there users here? This is more of a security thing because I do security stuff as well, so I'm always thinking about this. After I get done with this, you want to remove me, and then Elizabeth is the owner, and I think that's you because your name is Lizzie. And John Porco, does he still need access? If he doesn't, make sure you remove him. And something you want to do once every week or so, come to this home page here and just look at these new messages. You can see here, if you may not know this back end is going away. There's going to be a new way to manage your business profile. There was a lot of COVID stuff here. Here's a review form link here. This is where you can see new features coming out. So this is something you want to stay on top of. So go see what this is. Look, advertising credit. Boom. Go take care of that. Okay, so here there's questions and answers. You don't have. I like to answer these myself because I want to answer questions that people ask me a lot and questions that I want people to see answered. So all you need to do, and you have some of them answered, is go to, where was it? You have it here, FAQ. Just answer these one by one. And you want to get the one you want most prominent, the one you want showing up here, make sure this one gets the most upvotes. And go answer the know this, click on know this plays and answer any questions it might have. Like, is there a handicap, blah, 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 if it shows up. You want to answer, you don't want your competitor to be able to answer this for you. Okay, so Screaming Frog. So Screaming Frog is a site spider. It looks for, as you can see, so this is all of your pages. You can look at meta descriptions, meta keywords, which are not used anymore, page titles, images, all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to spend too much time. Your site structure is good. Everything's indexed. You don't have any mixed content. You don't have any broken links. You have a couple redirects, and I'm going to send you these in a spreadsheet so you don't have to download the tool, even though I would download the tool. It's free for up to, I think, 100 pages or something. Maybe it's even 1,000. I don't know. So if you go here, you want to fix these redirects if possible, just because they're just more of annoying than anything else. Just no reason not to have a redirect if you can no reason to have a redirect if you don't need it. Page titles. The page titles are pretty good, except there's a Van Buren page here that doesn't have a title, and it's weird. You have that one landing page, and that's it. That one, I call them city service pages. You only have that one city service page. Now, I'd be interested to know if it's working. Because generally when I start with clients, I create, like you have that one. I create one heavily optimized city service page for the city they get the most business in with their most common service. So if you were a dentist, you might do orthodontics, you might do bridge repair, and you might do pulling teeth or whatever. Whichever one they do the most of, let's say the most business is pulling teeth, and it's in Boston, then I would do a landing page for Boston, pulling teeth, right? And I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay. So meta descriptions. The meta descriptions, I would include geo information in the meta descriptions. Here, you did it in some. Actually, maybe you did it in more than I can remember. Here. Yeah, so here, so there's some you don't have the geo in. I would put the geo in all of these. Also, you don't have the geo in the main homepage here, the homepage meta description. So, is a premier house clothing services in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Fort Smith, Arkansas area, something like that I would put. Trying to see something. I guess that's Fort Smith there. So I guess Fort Smith is the biggest city in that surrounding, with smaller areas surrounding it, I guess. You're not using meta keywords, that's good. Good, heading, good. Okay, images. Images can slow websites down, and you want, for image SEO purposes, you want to name them what they are. So you can see you don't want to use the image name CR2022 logo.png. You want to actually do what it is, and you don't want to use PNG because it's big. And this might need to be this might be a transparent PNG, and that's why I would change it so it's not a transparent PNG and make it into a WebP. We could probably get this image down probably to about 15K. Let's look at this one. Yeah, so this shouldn't be a PNG. This definitely should be a WebP image, and we could get that down probably to about 20K as well. So Okay, let me close all these windows to the right and moving along. In underperforming thin content. So what this is Google takes into account your entire website when deciding what search results to show. So if you have a lot of content on there that's like sample content or it's not getting traffic, you'd want to delete that content or combine it with other content because Google's going to think that your website's not any good. You don't have any of that, so you're not doing any blog content, which I highly would suggest doing because that's how you get that's how you get that traffic to your website. Create a lot of good articles, and you do have blog posts that I found, but they're not linked anywhere as far as I could see. That's how you get traffic to your website. And the more traffic you get to your website for your content, the higher you're going to start showing in the search results when somebody searches for, maid service, Fort Smith, or whatever. I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember this. I'm having a mental block. Okay, I ain't going to worry about it. Fort, whatever it is. Actually, it's driving me crazy. Let me go look. Fort Smith, that's right. Okay. So content's a really important piece of the puzzle. I have a content writer that can do, if you need help with content writing, probably do about a 700-word content piece probably for about $40. And that's something, if you could do like one a week, might be a little overkill for a cleaning service. But once every couple weeks, once every 3 weeks, and just keep writing it, pushing it out, pushing it out, pushing it out. It's also going to help with brand exposure. Okay. So I ran an SEO Optimize scan, everything came up good. SEO Ability scan, everything came up good. I also did an Ahref scan, site audit, everything came up good. Check domain history, all this. So your domain history is clean. Your Wayback Machine didn't look spammy from, like 5 years ago. It wasn't like an adult site or anything. You're not using multiple domains. Your competitors aren't really doing much anyway. They don't have a lot of landing pages, so you're doing good there as well. Sometimes you'll have a top-ranking competitor that has like 10 landing pages for all these different unique services, and you'd want to match that. I still would consider doing that over time, but just to totally separate yourself from your competition. And when I say that, I'm not saying that's something you need to do now. I'm saying if you can invest a little budget or time, whatever, if you want to do it on your own, once a month, maybe adding. This is a long-term thing. SEO is an ongoing thing. This is something you'd want to add these pages, maybe one new page a month, maybe one blog post per month, one new landing page per month. And as you start getting revenue from that new page and you can measure it in Google Analytics, take some of those profits and invest it into a new landing page. Of course, I wouldn't invest any more in new landing pages until you start making money from that landing page that you got, right? It's something I would just continually do. Here's my free process I created. You can go watch it. Whoops. I will update this link for creating SEO optimized content. Now there's tools that can automate some of this stuff. Let me make sure. Whoops. Okay. Whoop. But you're gonna have to pay for those tools. But this is a way to do it. Basically, this is going to make sure you're writing content people are actually searching for and then how to optimize it. You don't want to create content that nobody's searching on. So that's my process for doing that. I did a category check and you're showing up as a business. So that's good. Geo landing pages. The only one you have is the Van Buren one. And I would be really interested to know how it's performing. So if you could write back and let me know, since you only have that one, it would be interesting to know if that's actually driving more. Are you getting more business in Van Buren relative to your other service areas? I think that would be really interesting to know. Your domain age is okay. It's not, basically you didn't create your website 3 months ago. It's been there for quite a while. Your backlink profile. So backlinks are links into your site and they're a ranking factor, right? And I do a group buy for a lot of tools. All these tools would cost me probably $1,000 per month. I get them for $25 because I do a group buy, right? It's totally insane. So if you want that, let me know. I can refer you to the website. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not going to make money off of it, but it's something I use because it saves me a lot of money. And I'm not using these tools all the time. I really use them in audits, and that's pretty much it. So you can see here, I would like to know why your backlinks shot up Oops. I wonder, did you buy backlinks right about September of last year? So you can see here, look, this is very unnatural, and it's not, I would not buy backlinks. Well, if you do buy backlinks, you just got to do it with the right people and do it the right way. You can see how artificial this is. Something happened here, and your backlinks went way up. But let me pause it real quick. So you can see how this is your search organic traffic. Right about that time, those backlinks really did help. And then it looks like Google figured out what was going on, and they hammered you. So right about here, you were getting about, looks like an average 25 per day, perhaps, search clicks. And now you're right about where you were. So those backlinks really haven't helped. My guess is Google's ignoring them, but you can do something called disavow them, which is a signal to Google that these backlinks are junk, and I don't want them to count it for me or against me. And you can see here's all these URLs, like News Center Maine, I don't know, CBS 8, that's legitimate, I would think. 13WMA, that sounds legitimate, but I don't know, you'd have to go through all of them. Actually, there's not that many of them here, so maybe they disappeared. Anyway, so I'd like to know what happened on that date. I don't think it's really harming you, but might be something you want to look into. You do have a favicon, your 404 page is good. Your sitemap, so if you go to robots.txt, it's like a configuration file for like site spiders and stuff. It says this is your sitemap. Page sitemap, category sitemap. So page sitemap here, that looks good. Then you have the post sitemap, and that goes to blog posts here, which is interesting because it should be one post per page, one entry per post. But if you aren't, like, this goes back to the thin content. If you want to hide these, just delete these. You can see these are very over optimized. Spring cleaning in the kitchen. These just are very over optimized. I wouldn't be surprised if Google is kind of penalizing you for this, to be honest with you. And it's decent content, but I think it's very, very over optimized. Meaning you can optimize too much, and Google will, like, not an official penalty, but it's just not good. Like you're trying too hard to manipulate the system. Website security. So the security audits that I do, like I said, for $50 with the audit, you get iTheme Security Pro plugin. I think it's like $70 per year. You would get it for free. Because if you wanted to install it, now I could install it for you as a follow-up gig. That would be a separate gig, but I can give it to you for free, just because I have an agency license to it. That's just with the audit. So the audit, I think right now it's priced at $50. The plugin, if you bought it on your own, would be like $80, right? So I think, or maybe 70, whatever, between $50 and $80 per year. So you'd get that for free. So you'd actually like make money by purchasing the audit. And it's a lot more than installing the plugin, as I would go through and explain to you. But that's something to keep in mind. If you want that, let me know. I'd be happy to do it for you. Homepage performance is good. Service page performance is good. This is a big problem here. Your Google doesn't think your homepage is mobile friendly. Here, it thinks your text is too small to read. So we'd want to figure out why that is, and that is a problem. Sometimes just changing the font and increasing the font size would solve the problem, but that's a problem that whether it looks fine on mobile to me, but for whatever reason, Google thinks it's not fine on mobile, and that's a big problem. That's something, considering most searches happen on mobile these days, that's something you'd want to fix as soon as possible. You're good here. You don't have any blog content. You're not on TikTok. Don't worry about TikTok. Twitter, I wouldn't worry about it. You're on Facebook. You're doing a good job. Open Graph, you're doing good there, meaning when people share your content, it's going to look nice and pretty in Twitter feeds. Not that anybody's going to share house cleaning content on Twitter feeds. It's just nice to have configured. You're not doing YouTube. YouTube's really good. Something I would consider. You could just search on YouTube for house cleaning or maids. There's all kinds of house cleaning companies and maids doing videos, like cleaning tips, all kinds of stuff. Just Google the keywords and you'll find videos and just mimic the top ranking videos. That's really going to increase your proximity, relevance, and I never can remember, prominence, right? And it's also going to be good brand exposure, etc., etc. So that's something I would do. Other social, like, yeah, you're on Instagram, so that's good. And you're keeping your Instagram up to date, which is really good. I know it's probably a pain in the butt, but it's really good. It's good that you're doing it. Okay, so if you go to Custom Mades Fort Smith, I think, Yelp, you have this is not good. All ratings should be above 4 stars. And you didn't respond to this review either, which is a big problem. So, like, you responded to this one, which is, this one, not this one. So you need to monitor your reviews, and there's tools that can do this for you. But if they just cost money, like Bright Local, and it's just, I wouldn't spend money on it. Just make a calendar entry on all the platforms that you're listed on, whether it's Thumbtack and Care.com and all these things. You want to make sure you monitor the reviews. So this one you need to respond to as soon as possible. I mean, it's been, I still would, even though, well, let's get, I still would. And see, 2 people found it useful, right? So that's not good. I would respond to it still. And you need to optimize your listing on here. And you need to get reviews on Yelp as soon as possible. And I can help you. I can tell you how to get reviews. Rewarding your employees with like $10 gift cards for every review they get. Anything like that, right? There's all kinds of ways to get reviews, and there's a proper way to do it. You need to get this so it's at least above 4 stars. If I searched for your business and I saw this, I'd be like, I don't know. That's, you know what I mean? I may not even click on it. I might go right to the next one. This is good. So you are in. Okay, you are in Angie. I didn't see you in Angie earlier. So all these little niche directories, you want to make sure you're in them. And you can find all these niche well, I got a list later. I'll show you. Okay. Citations. Okay, so this is actually the next step. Are you in all of these? Porch.com, HomeAdvisor.com. This is AU, so you don't need to be there. And some of them are paid, so do you want to pay? I don't know. It's something you got to figure out. And this looks like some of these look like they're UK. Okay, here we go. USA, UK. So look through these. Do you want to be in these? The main ones, of course, are Yelp, Angie's List, all those. Do you want to be in all these? Home Advisor is a good one. I think Home Advisor does cleaning services. I'm not sure. But you want to make sure you're in all. You don't want to be in all these ones that have low domain authority. I think this is domain authority here. Right. You don't necessarily want to waste your time with bestimprovers.com paid. Let's say that's even relevant, because that's another entry you have to monitor, and you're paying for it monthly, and like, who wants to do that, right? So let's see what this is. So you just got to use common sense. Just want to make sure you're in as many directories as possible, high authority directories. So service landing pages with keywords, we want to do those. You have the Van Buren one, that's good. Services listed on your homepage with a blurb, you're doing that, so that's good. Your 3 services on your homepage are mentioned with a little text blurb. That's good. You don't have any. I like to have landing pages for my categories too, my business profile categories. You don't have that, so that's something I would do. On your city pages, what a lot of people do, and I still do it. Some people say it doesn't work as much anymore. As much as it used to, and it may not, but I still like doing it. Is, where did I put your homepage? Is it here? On your landing pages for cities, you would want to put things to do in Van Buren at the very bottom. I don't think you had that. You know, there might be a baseball field or something. Just put like a good restaurant. Just list two or three things there on the landing page. It just kind of helps build that geo authority. But you do have it here. I missed it. So this is good. This is perfect. And that's exactly why the company you work with put that there. And this looks really good, so that's good. Okay. So you're not doing the landing pages. Your geolocations are mentioned in the footer. That's good. You're not using external links. External links is a signal to Google that you are using them in a couple places, but not as much as I like to see. That you're part of the web ecosystem and you want to help people get from point A to point B. You want to make sure you're linking to your landing pages. Anytime you mention your service in a blog post, you want to make sure you mention that and link it back to your landing pages. Your call to actions above the fold, that's good. Keyword density is pretty good. You do have awards, membership, certificate, media mentions, etc. what I would like to see, because anybody can put these badges on their website. So this isn't accurate. You don't have a 5-star review here. You don't have a 5-star review here, so I would change these. You do have the Google Guaranteed. You do that. But here, all these, I would like to link out to where it actually, when it says you're the best of the best in 2020, I don't know if that's real. If it's not real, I wouldn't put it on there. If it is real, I'd like to link out to it so people can see that. It's probably like a local magazine or something. WRAL, I'm assuming that's a news website, like CBS, WARL or something. I would link out to those. Diamond Awards, that looks real, so that's something I would link out to. Testimonials, you have testimonials, but you don't have them on the homepage. I would put some on the homepage. Your socials are on your website. This is a way here. Best house cleaning companies. You can see these are lists that you can get on. The Spruce. Did you reach out, find out what that's about? So you're an Angie, etc., etc. So this is going to give you more backlinking opportunities. You could also do like best made companies. Phone number good, contact good, address good, areas we serve good, about us page. I would like to see pictures of you guys. A lot of people, when they're looking at, if you study a little bit of psychology, when somebody sees somebody on a web page, from like a marketing point of view, they establish mentally some kind of weird like relationship with them, even though they've never met them. So pictures help, and I just like to see the kind of people that I would, assuming you guys look friendly and don't look totally nutty, and I don't think you do. It would be nice to see what you guys look like. I know that's something I always look for. I don't know who's showing up at my location. For example, some people want to work with Americans only, right? Or if it's a black family, maybe they would prefer to work with a black-owned business or a Hispanic business or whatever. So people want to see that kind of stuff. Legal pages like terms of service, disclaimer, etc. You don't have those. Most people don't, but it's something I would put on there. You can just get like templates to get that stuff. Not a big deal. You're using stock images. I would use them as little as possible, but you are. Not a big deal. This is just kind of a marketing thing. Anytime you mention a service, you want to mention not what the service is, but how it benefits the customer. You're not doing that really that much. It's something you could do. You don't have a link to find us on Yelp and all these directories. Something I would do. Your hours you don't have on your website. Not that you have them, but just to be consistent with Google Business Profile, you might want to put them, or maybe not. I probably wouldn't, to be honest with you, now that I think about it, because it might be confusing. So as you can see, there's just a lot here. I mean, I could spend at least 5 minutes on most of these topics. FAQ, you do have a good FAQ. Your map on your website, you do have it, which I saw when I was going back to this audit. You're not using schema. Schema is really important. It helps Google understand what the website is. They say this is a local business. This is the city. This is the services I offer. So that's something you want to implement as well. It's really important. You're not giving away a free ebook or anything. This is just a way to get, mailing lists and get people to your website. Not a big deal. It's something I would consider. You do have a guaranteed badge, actually. So I missed that when I did it originally. Do you want to add prices? Some people like doing it, some people don't, but for you, it probably wouldn't make much sense because it's different for each client. Now, you could do cleaning, is it like $10 per square foot? I don't no idea. I don't know if it's $50 or $3 or whatever, 10 cents per square foot, but whatever it is, it's something. If you have that, you would want to put that on there. I looked at thing that's indexed and it's good. Referral bonuses are something you're not doing. It's something I always do. Just as a little tip, one thing I would do once a year to all of your clients is send out an email. What do we do good? What do we do bad? What's one thing you would change? That's just something that's really just going to help your business grow. That's just a business thing. That's not really an SEO thing. But most businesses I've worked with from an SEO perspective that just implement something that's simple, they really improve their businesses. And the bottom line is to make more money in the long run, and that's going to help you make more money. I have no idea. Put your business name in Google Alerts. So anytime your business name is mentioned on the web, you're going to get an alert for it. I don't know if you're using Analytics or Search Console. You definitely should be using those. If you're not, Google Search Console is the dashboard for Google Search. I didn't see that you're in Bing Places, which is Bing's Google Business equivalent of Google Business Profile. Yahoo Local and Apple Maps. Yahoo Local, like nobody uses it, but it's a one-time thing. Get it in there. Bing Places. I mean, you're going to get people searching on Bing. If I went here and searched for custom maids, that's going to pull up Bing. And a lot of people are lazy and do that, even if they don't like Bing. And I think Alexa uses Bing too, right? So that's something you want to do. Hold on one second. Okay, I paused it and I'm back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alexa uses Bing, and because Amazon and Google just don't like each other. So I think at least it did last I checked. Hello, Apple Maps. Obviously, people use iPhones. You want to be in there as well. Baidu and Yandex. This is a huge search engine in China, a huge search engine in Russia. This is more if you have a lot of content. If you have content, because like I said, the more clicks you get to your content, the more clicks you're going to start getting for business purposes when somebody's looking for a maid. So this is more of an indirect thing that'll help you, but it takes 15 minutes to get in each one of these, and it's a one-time thing. Are you monitoring your website? This is something I would do. You probably aren't. Just set up a probe on Uptime Robot. It's going to check your website every 5 minutes. If it's not up, you're going to get an alert. That's good from a security point of view too, because if somebody compromises your site, a lot of times they'll take it down to do stuff to it. And if you get an alert that something's going on, at least you'll know you can be more proactive about it. Your redirections are good. Your these checked out, no duplicate content, your copy, you're not copywriting, you're not duplicating other people's content. User Bob, something I would do once a month. This, you can pay $1 per session. You just have somebody look at your site and review it for a minute, and you'll start to hear some really good ideas about things that you should improve on your website. You'll also start to see possible errors. Like, for example, you would have never known that menuing issue exists until I told you about it. At least I don't think so. That's because I'm using a specific resolution with a specific zoom level and a specific browser. You're only looking at it probably with 1 or 2 different laptops. Inspectlet is another way. This is just a piece of JavaScript you can put in your browser, and you're not going to hear, like with a user blog, you can hear them talk out loud. They'll be, okay, this website's good. I like the coloring scheme, etc., etc. With Inspectlet, you can just see people using your website, and it's cool to see what people see. You're going to see, you'll start to catch typos, possibly, broken links, broken images, all kinds of stuff. So it's something, every Friday I go and spend about 30 minutes watching my clients' websites and see what people are seeing. I would have live chat. That's kind of a must nowadays. You don't have that on your website. That's something you could install with there's extensions that can do it for you. And if you're not there, it just goes to email, right? You don't have to sit there all the time. And it goes to your mobile phone, so you don't have to sit in front of a laptop all day. Google Ads are really good. It looks like you are doing local ads, so it's something, if you're not doing, I would do it. Just make sure you know what you're doing. And finally, make sure you're tracking results. I have a spreadsheet if you want it to track results, because if you're not tracking what you're doing, then you don't know if what you're doing is actually making a difference. So hopefully that helps. I know it's a lot to absorb, and it's something people get overwhelmed by this. Don't get overwhelmed, because this isn't all this stuff I've gone over. This isn't something you could get fixed in 2 to 3 weeks. This is something that takes months and months and months. I have a 6-month plan I go through with clients. But everything I do, I've showed you here. So there's no like bonus material or anything like that I'm hiding from you. If you want to do this, if you find this informative and it makes sense to do all this stuff, and it's something that you now know what I would do. So this is basically a 6-month plan, and it of course depends on what I came up with in this audit I just did for you. But basically, it's like month 1 we do these things, month 2 we do these things, month 3 we do these things. Every company's a little different. Generally, it does take between 3 and 8 months. Generally, it takes right around 6 months to do all this stuff. So if that's something you'd want help with, let me know and we can help you out. But your website's already ranking number 2. I don't know how much I would change things. I don't know how much I could actually improve. Like, we could do all these things and you might stay at number 2, right? So it's one of those, yeah, I just don't know. There's definitely things to work on, definitely things to improve. I just don't know how much things are going to move up since you're already ranking number 2. If that's not what you're seeing, let me know. I'd like to see what you are ranking when you search for yourself. So that's it. I hope this helped. A review is greatly appreciated. Maybe mention a few things that you liked if you're happy with it. If there's something I didn't cover, or there's something you're not satisfied with, please just give me time, if at all possible, to answer those questions or cover those topics before leaving a negative review. So I hope this helps, and I'm here if you need me. So even if we don't, if you don't want me to help you out with a plan, I'm always here if you have questions, or if you just 3 months down the road are wondering, hey, should I do this? You can always reach out to me, and I'd be happy to help you out in any way that I can. Okay? And if you want that security audit, I would highly recommend it. I'm not a salesman. I'm really not, but it's pretty sad. I would say 90% of my clients that I do security stuff with, they come to me after they get compromised, and rather than paying me $50 up front to do the audit and tell them what to fix. They're a lot of times spending thousands and thousands of dollars with me to fix something that could have been easily prevented. So, all right, take it easy. Thank you.